Hi. Right. So I need you to stick to the end of the video because I've just got a few opinions on a few things and it might just make you think. So yeah, last night I went out, picked out a load of nettles and dead nettles. The difference is that nettles sting and dead nettles, which has got the ones with the little white flowers on there, don't sting. But both are equally as good for you. I'll be dehydrating them. Most of it will get ground down into a powder and put into food, and the rest I'll leave as dried leaves and use it for tea and soups and putting on pizzas and stuff like that. So yeah, now's a good time to get nettles. I suggest you get out and do it at night time for reasons I'll explain further down the line. Right, the troubles in Dublin. Now, I know everyone's talking about this, and I know you're thinking, well, this is old news, but just bear with me. Bear with me. Right. I've had to write notes down because it's just too much for me to remember. And I did a video last night whilst I was collecting the nettles. And like many of my other videos, they don't make the cut. I don't post them because I listen to them back 2, 3, 4 times, and if they don't sound right or I get mixed up, I sometimes struggle to articulate what's going on in my head. A few people in the past have pointed out that I could have made 4 videos out of one video because I've gone from one subject and then onto another subject and then onto another subject when I should have elaborated on one subject at a time, made a video out of that, and so on. So everything that's happening in Dublin at the moment, I genuinely believe is going to come to every major city. Well, maybe in the whole of the West, not just Europe. But I do think this is the start, because I think a lot of you will know by doing your due diligence and research that they are bringing agenda forward, because it is starting to come apart. So we've got very little to lose. They've got everything to lose, and they're going to throw everything they've got at us. And chaos is the next part. And they're not going to need to do all of that dirty work, because they're going to rely on us doing that to ourselves. Attacking ourselves, infighting. I don't think it'll be brother against father and uncle against nephew. I don't think it's going to be like that. I think it's going to be a race war, which will be just as bad, but in a different way. Our cultures, they go together like oil and water, you know. But I also don't think we should tar every single one of these these immigrants with the same brush, because they're not. I don't think they're not all bad, but there are a lot of bad ones mixed in there because they're not being vetted. So right, I've just noticed them pushing Conor McGregor in there a little bit, just here and there, and he's being seen as a little bit of a hero. He's not a hero. And he's said his little bit here and a little bit there, and I think he's going to be saying a bit more and a bit more, because it's also going to be free advertising for him, because he has made a comeback and he is an incredible fighter. He's hard, but he's not a warrior. A true warrior is humble. A true warrior will fight for people who can't fight for themselves. You know? Selfless. Courageous. But good. Heart. So yeah, he's not a warrior. He's an animal. and potentially a sponsored mouthpiece to make things worse over there. So let me crack on with these notes. So he's stepping up to be the hero spokesman over the Dublin riots. He's the perfect spokesman to push further hate and violence, because Conor McGregor is, I've got to say, alleged. I have to say alleged because I could get done for defamation. I've looked into it, but I know what I know, right? And if you do some proper deep digging, and I don't just mean a quick Google search or a quick DuckDuckGo search, I mean proper deep digging, you'll get to where I am now. So he's an alleged serial rapist. So there's been several women, and these are just the ones that have come forward. Just the ones that have been reported on. The last one was at Game 4 of the NBA Finals on June the 23rd. That's the ongoing one at the moment. But there was one prior to that, not too long before that, on his yacht. But there's also been there was an allegation in 2019 and 2020, and again, so that's 4. But I know of many more. One of these women had to have a tampon surgically removed from their cervix. So that doesn't sound like consensual sex to me, but there you go. Right, so he's also he owns a whiskey company. So I mean, the guy is very, very, very rich, very rich. He owns a whiskey company called Proper Number 12. The UFC viewing rights owned by Disney. The contract worth 1.5 billion is valid until 2025. That deal increased the value of the UFC to 7 billion overnight. 7 billion. We're not talking chump change here. This is massive money. And all of the viewing rights are owned by Disney. Now, they're going to protect their assets at all cost, and he's their biggest asset. So this is the reason why there hasn't been a successful conviction, because you're going up against massive, massive corporations like Disney. Disney own all of the viewing rights to the UFC fights. So you get the arena, they get their cut, and then everyone else gets their little cut. The UFC get their cut, the fighter gets his cut, but the lion's share goes to the people that have got the viewing rights, and that's Disney. So they are going to protect him. They're going to protect him. So was that stabbing another false flag? Yeah, I don't doubt it's. I know it's happened. I don't doubt what's happened. But was it another false flag in order to bring him in to boost the chaos? It's just, I do think we're going to be seeing a lot more of him. But yeah, the video is pretty much to just make you understand, get you to realise that he is no hero. He is not a good man. But the Irish, they love him. But they don't do their research. No one looks. All of this information is there. No one looks. They only see people through the eyes of the mainstream media, and that's it. So I hope you've got something out of this video. Get some nettles in, blah de blah. Much love to all of you, and I mean that sincerely every time. Ciao for now.